Graham, say hello.
Hello. Can I please?
Maybe tomorrow. Right here, what does percent mean, sir?
Percent means
Take the word apart. Per/cent.
out of 100.
Out of 100. Out of 100, and why do we use percents? Or where do we use percents? Just quickly. Somebody, percent comes, Karen, where's percent? What do we use percents for? Where have you heard the word percent for?
Yeah.
Probably the biggest thing in a 7th grader's life is, yes it is, it's grades, and an A is what? Well, on our little report card thing here, for you to get an A, what percent do you have to have? What's that? 93 is actually a B plus, I believe. An A, a straight A, I believe, is 199. And then I think an A is maybe it's 98 too. Like an A minus is 97, 96, 95. And then a B plus is 94, 93, 92. Yeah, those are percentages, right? And percent means out of 100, so the question is, Mitch, sir, if you got a 90% on one of my quizzes, does that mean you got 90 out of 100 problems right? No, you don't have to. You don't have to do 100 of them to get a percent. Okay, percent is a ratio sort of thing. 9 out of 10 questions on my quiz will give you 90%, because if you do make an equal fraction with 9/10 and get 100 on the bottom, that's where the 90% comes from. It's 9 out of 10 is the same proportion as 90 out of 100. Because if every quiz I gave you had 100 questions on it, Lainey Kamara, it would take you probably 3 days to do a quiz. And if it took us 3 days to do a quiz, how would we ever learn anything new? So be thankful for percents. So the first thing you have to make sure you know is that you can change any fraction to a percent. For example, some of them you know, 3/4, you probably know is what percent? Graham? 75%. Why is it 75%? Because if you make this fraction with 100 on the bottom, what do I multiply 4 by to get 100? Jaden, shoot. 25. So if I multiply the top by 25 as well. If we always talk free throw shooting percentage for those of you basketball players, you know, what if though? What if Jaden Shoot was 5 for 6 at the line? What percentage is that? Which leads us into trouble, because what problem do we have with this? Elijah? Yeah, 6 doesn't go evenly into 100. Now you can get close. Anybody, 6 times what is close to 100? For all intents and purposes, you could get very close with this. Anybody? Math in your head? 6 times 11 is 6 times 12. 72. 6 times 13. 14. 15. 90. 16. 96 is awful close. So you could think, oh, well, I could multiply top and bottom by 16. In my head, that'd be close to what percent? 5 times 16 is... But that's not exactly right. That's why I need you to write these down. These are some fractions that you need to jot down, because they don't go easily into 100, but we have them written down. They are the, you know, the 1/3, by the way. 1/3 and 2/3, what percentages are those? These are just kind of common ones that, I mean, we can figure them out, but we're just going to write them down. Keith, 1/3 is? 33 and 1/3%. 2/3 is? Somebody decide. There, Luke?
66
2/3%, just double that. Oh, no.
Attention all teachers, this is the last call for photos. If there's any students that have not had their picture taken, please send them now. Thank you.
now that that's out of the way. Anybody 1/6, these are the ones that are not quite as known. And that way, if you have them in your notes, you will know them forever. Anybody? Anybody out there in the mathematical? 1/6 as a percent. Isabel,
16 2/3.
how'd you know that, Isabel? Do you still have that? I should probably get you all copies of that again. So 1/6, which is more realistic to Jaden's free throw shooting abilities, 1 out of 6, he'd be shooting the 16 2/3%. 2/6. Don't let 2/6 scare you because it's the same as 1/3, which is 33 1/3. You double this. I know you probably don't know 3/6, but I'll take a shot. Danny, 3/6? 3/6 reduces down to 50%. Yeah, don't laugh because you're all in the same boat there. 4/6? 4/6, Aubrey? 66 2/3%. 5/6 is not an easy one, but it's a good one to commit to memory. I will at some point give you a copy of the decimal fractions to the decimals, repeating decimals. Thing is what? Anybody? Besides Isabel? Anybody still have the sheet from last year? Or if you could multiply this by 5. Anybody?
Yeah.
Or if you happen to be following along with me and happen to be looking in your book at page 74, letter B, 5/6 is Elijah. Did you say 83 1/3? You did? Which, children, jot this down here. Okay. You can make anything, and I'm going to underline that, anything in the world, as long as it's a number, a percent by multiplying it by, anybody know what I'm going to say? Multiplying it by, check this out, 100%. Usually people ooh and ah when I write that down. You guys are a little, I know it's a Monday, you're kind of a little slow on that. That just means this. Let's take a hard fraction that doesn't work nicely into a percent. Let's say I have 7/13. Now, if you're guesstimating, you're going to tell me it's awful close to what, Mamie? If it was 7/14, it would be 50%. So if you should get somewhere lower. But you don't know, and the teacher wants you to be specific. So if you multiply this by 100%, and we're going to make it a fraction, what do I get if I multiply that out? I get 7 times 100 is 700 all over 13. And this is why it's not pretty, because you got some ugly looking division math to do here. If you find out how many times 13 goes into 700, you will find your percentage that 7/13 is. 13 goes into 70 what? So it's 4 is 52, 5 is 65. 5 is 65. 13 goes into 50 3 times, which is 39. And the beauty of this is this. Once you get down to there, you don't have to do decimals anymore. You just leave the remainder as a fraction. It is 53 11/13%. It's not pretty, but that's the way it would be. You know, we said it was supposed to be close to 50, we were already okay. Same thing if it was a decimal. Let me give you another example. This whole rule right here, if it's a decimal, if it was 7.6 and I wanted to change that to a percent, I just multiply it by 100%. What is 100 times 7.6? I know it's been a long summer, but hopefully you can do that mentally because it's pretty simple. Grace Christ, what is 7.6 times 100? That would be 7.6 times 10. So you're close. 7.6 times 100 times 100. You got nothing for me?
760.
Thank you very much. Move the decimal 2 places. 760% is what 7.6 is. So multiplying by 100 will do it every time. What else did they ask, remind you? Yeah, I suppose we should write this one down. One story problem, just so that we can say we did it. What about this? 40% of the 30 students rode the bus. 40% of the 30 students rode the bus. How many rode the bus? I can't remember how much of this we did in 6th grade, so anybody, tell me what you would do for that. First of all, mathematically, Brooklyn Peterson, we don't do math calculations with percents. Percents are just a ratio that tell you stuff. You're not gonna, in order to do all this, you're gonna have to change a percent either to a fraction or to a decimal, whichever one floats your boat or works best for you. So in this case here, if I'm looking for 40% of 30, anybody going once, going twice? Mitch,
You multiply pick 40 by 30
why?
because 40 is equivalent to, or 40% is equivalent to 0.40 as a decimal. Which would be
And I was looking for this. In math, the word of means, 900 out of 1,000 times means to multiply. Now, you could do, what did you say, 0.4? Mitch said, yeah, I can multiply 0.40 because 40% is 0.4 times 30, and I'm going to get 12. Or you could change 40% to a fraction. What is 40% as a fraction? Okay. Well, let's put, it's 40 over 100, which is 2/5. And 2/5 times 30, doing your little calculation, you're still 12. Your call on how that works. Did we do that in 6th grade? Say yes. Even if you didn't, say yes. Even if you don't know what's going on, say yes.
Yes.
That's more people than that. Okay, we're gonna start with that.